Hi guys, Miss Stevenson here with our 5-point English Essential List. This list will cover the basics you'll need to know for this literature unit. In this video, our 5-point English Essential List will be covering the basics of short stories. Now, just what is a short story? A short story is a story with a fully developed single-line plot and theme. They are shorter and less elaborate than a full-length novel. Most short stories vary on minimum word and page length, but the maximum cap is usually seen at about 8,000 words and 25 to 30 pages. With the definition of a short story out the way, let's get down to the 5 essentials. The 5 essentials of a short story are plot, character, conflict, theme, and setting. Now let's define these individually. A plot is a series of events and character actions that relate to the central conflict. Now, along a plot, we have a plot line, and in this, required points that you need to know in order to understand our story. The first point is the exposition. This gives us all the background information that we need to know about the characters, situation, environment, and such. Next, we have the conflict point itself. That leads us into the rising action. The rising action is all the events and things that characters must do in order to get to the climax, which is the peak turning point to resolve our conflict, or the interaction of different characters in the conflict situation. Next, we have the falling action, which is the result and kind of consequence of all the actions of the rising action and climax. And this falls us into the resolution and end of the story, which completes the conflict in its execution and finishing. Characters are the figures we follow throughout a story. The characters act upon actions and also develop personally so we can see the themes and messages the author has intended. Characters can range from people, persons, things, or animals. Conflict is a clash between two opposing forces. This force creates a narrative thread for our story. Conflict can either occur externally with a character or internally with a character. There is character versus self, character versus character, character versus society, and character versus environment. Now we have theme. Theme is the central idea or belief of the story. It is the intended message the author has written into the story. And finally, we have setting. Setting is the time, place, and location that an author chooses to put its story in. These places can be real and based on real places, or they can be made up entirely. And this has been our 5-point list of the English essentials. I hope you guys did nothing but learn. See you next